This is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1, Player 2, Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny. Hi, folks, and welcome. You all look eager to get underway, so let's get right into it. And we start the Jeopardy round categories with this one. A hostile takeover. Odd words. Which time zone? Music class. The solar system. And TV nostalgia. All right, let's get back into this. Player 1 has control of the board. Enjoy the Sleep in Heaven Youth Hostel or the Newhound Boat Hostel in this capital of Denmark. It's Player 1. Use the Wii remote or press the corresponding direction on the Yes. Player 1. I'm sure the Red Bus Hostel is fine, but the Mellow Mood Central Hostel caught my eye in this capital of Hungary. Player 1. Right. You get to pick again, Player 1. Do the Funky Chicken Hostel or the Butterfly Villa Hostel in this Romanian capital. Yes, Player 1. Good for you. You again, Player 1. It's off to the Hans Brinker Budget Hotel or Dirty Nellie's Inn. Sounds inviting. In this major European city. Okay, Player 1. Yes. Select again. Surf the Internet Hostel or the Marriott Hostel. Note the lack of an extra R and T in Marriott in this Bulgarian capital. Let's hear it, Player 1. That's it. Player 1, pick again. Dumbledore is actually an old word for this insect. J.K. Rowling imagined him humming all the time. Player 2. That is correct. Please pick again, Player 2. The name of this light, crinkled fabric comes from the Persian shur or shakar, meaning milk and sugar. Yes, Player 1. You. Are correct. Choose again, Player 1. The fact that clavate means shaped like this isn't something you have to hit me over the head with. Okay, Player 1. Now, good. We return to you, Player 1. Too much time enjoying potent potables? You could end up with a Katzenjammer, one of these. It's Player 2. Yeah! Correct. Player 2, back to you. Robinsonade is not a refreshing drink. It's a novel similar in theme to a work by this author. Let's hear it, Player 1. That's correct. Player 1, pick again. Vancouver, British Columbia. Okay, Player 3. That is correct. We return to you, Player 3. Omaha, Nebraska. It's Player 1. Yep. Player 1. Santa Fe, New Mexico. Player 1. Hey, you're right. Player 1. Back to Reno, Nevada. Yes, player 3. Right. Select again. Akron, Ohio. Player 2. You got it. Player 2, back to you for our next selection. On sheet music, this sign identifies the second line of the staff as the G above middle C. It's player 1. Right you are. You get to pick again, player 1. The name of this section of an orchestra comes from the Latin for a beating. Okay, player 2. Right. Please pick again, player 2. Let's get Kelly's assistance on this clue.
The guitarist here is playing one of these, defined as a combination of 3 or more notes.
Yes, player 2. That's correct. Choose again, player 2. It's the Daily Double. You are currently in second place. Please enter your wager. Here is your clue. You may have studied these Chopin pieces whose name is French for studies. Correct. You again, player 2. Rachmaninoff wrote one on a theme of Paganini. Gershwin wrote one in blue. Let's hear it, player 3. That's right, way to go. Please pick again, player 3. In December of 2006, NASA announced that water may have flowed on this planet's surface within the past decade. It's player 2. Good. Player 2. In 1980, Hermes, one of these objects, came within 300,000 miles of the Earth. Let's hear it, player 1. Yes. Choose again, player 1. On October 10, 1846, 17 days after the discovery of this planet, its largest moon, Triton, was discovered. Okay, player 1. Right you are. You get to pick again, player 1. These solar discharges, consisting of light, heat, and cosmic rays, may last up to an hour. Player 1. Correct. Player 1. In July of 2005, scientists announced the discovery of Eris, a dwarf planet larger than Pluto, in this belt. Yes, player 3. You got it. Player 3, back to you for our next selection. In an animated 1987 TV special, this space-age family traveled back in time to meet the Flintstones. Let's hear it, player 1. That is correct. We return to you, player 1. In the pilot for this 60s sitcom, Jed and Jethro first meet Mr. Drysdale when he comes to get them out of jail. It's player 3. Yes. Select again. The 1973 TV season gave us Richard Roundtree as this super cool private eye he'd played on film. Player 3.
Yeah!
That's right. Way to go. Player 3. You pick again. According to his theme song, Mr. This will never speak unless he has something to say. Yes, player 1. Good for you. And here's the $1,000 clue. In the 50s, this movie Tarzan was still hanging out with a chimp, but he wore more than a loincloth as TV's Jungle Jim. Okay, player 1. Right. Player 3 is in third place and will select first in the Double Jeopardy round, as we always do, right after this break. Categories for the Double Jeopardy round are Ancient Times, the Vatican, Quoth the Raven, notice the spelling, Classic Kids Lit, say it in Spanish, and Biology. Let's get back into this now. You have control of the board. The astronomer Hipparchus is famed for cataloging more than 800 of these. That's even more than MGM had. Let's hear it, player 1. That's it. You again, player 1. I do declare Tefnut was this ancient civilization's goddess of the dew. Yes, player 2. Good. Player 2. Back. Darius I of this empire claimed that Bardia, the king he killed and replaced, had been an impostor. Player 2. That is correct. Player 2. Back. Here's Kelly to start us off.
Latin words for water and to lead give us the name of this type of ancient water carrier built by the Romans.
It's player 1. Good. Select again. If I were not Alexander, said Alexander the Great, I would be this philosopher who lived in a tub. Okay, player 3. That's correct. Player 3, you pick again, please. Crispin of Viterbo was the first one of these created by John Paul II. Yes, player 3. That's correct. Player 3. You may not use cell phones or felt-tip pens when researching in the secret these. Okay, player 2. Right.
Yeah!
Please pick again, player 2. The 4
two.
papal these churches include St. Peter's and St. John Lateran. It's player 2. Yes. We return to you, player 2. The Inventario Manuscriti room is part of this Vatican building. Player 3. Correct. You get to pick again, player 3. The faithful can make offerings via cash or credit card to the fund called This Man's Pence. Let's hear it, player 1. Right. Choose again, player 1. This character has gone psycho long before he says, "She might have fooled me, but she didn't fool my mother." Player 2. You are correct. You again, player 2. Kathleen Quinlan finds comfort talking to shrink Bibi Anderson in I Never Promised You a This. Let's hear it, player 1. Good. Choose again, player 1. As John Nash in this movie, Russell Crowe does quite a bit of talking to people who don't exist. Yes, player 1. Yep. Player 1. This Johnny Depp character tells his psychiatrist, "You are a great lover like myself." Okay, player 2. Yes. Player 2, back to you. In Quills, this author muses, "My glorious prose filtered through the minds of the insane. They might improve it." It's player 3. Hey, you're right. Select again. This story begins, "All children except one grow up." Okay, player 1. That is correct. Player 1, pick again. In a novel by Frances Hodgson Burnett, 7-year-old Cedric Errol inherits a title and is known as Little Lord This. Let's hear it, player 3. You got it. You again, player 3. This classic is the first book in Madeleine L'Engle's Time Quartet. Player 3. Yeah! Right. We return to you, player 3. Completes the title of a classic about an African-American family, Roll of Thunder. It's player 1. Right you are. You get to pick again, player 1. Answer? 1 of the Daily Double. You are in the lead right now. Please select your wager, player 1. Here is your Daily Double clue. The Black Pearl and Island of the Blue Dolphins are 2 classics by him. That puts you even further ahead. Please pick again, player 1. The Bureau of Land Management can help you adopt one of these wild donkeys. Yes, player 2. Yes. Player 2, back to you. As well as manly or virile, this word can mean sledgehammer. Okay, player 2. Good. We return to you, player 2. Whether after Cuba or not, it simply means free. It's player 2. Yep. Choose again, player This 2. Can mean taste or flavor. Con mucho this means with great pleasure. Let's hear it, player 2.
Yeah!
That's right, way to go. Player 2, back to you. Kelly will present this clue.
In Spanish spelling, this mark above the N indicates that rather than una, the word should be pronounced uña.
Yes, player 3. Correct. You get to pick again, player 3. In humans, this sex chromosome is present only in males. Player 2. Good. Select again. Gustatory receptors are special cells that give you your sense of this. It's player 1. That's correct. Player 1, back to you. In plants, they're reproductive structures. In humans, light-sensitive structures along with the rods. Let's hear it, player 1. Good for you. You again, player 1. Answer, the second daily double, and you have the lead. You need to select your wager. All right, here's your clue. The hypothalamus at the base of the brain controls the release of hormones by this master gland. You have maintained your lead. Way to go. And the $2,000 clue? One of the subdivisions of biology is this science dealing with the naming and classification of organisms. Yes, player 2. That's it. You all move on to Final Jeopardy, which will continue after these messages. Final Jeopardy still to come, and here's the category. American authors. What are you going to wager? Each direction on the plus control pad represents a different response. Press a direction to select an answer. Let's take a look at that Final Jeopardy clue right now. Injured on the Austro-Italian front on July 8, 1918, he also crossed the English Channel with U.S. forces on D-Day. Did you come up with the correct response? And that correct response will add... Let's see your response. With that correct response,
Yeah!
you will gain... What did you put as your response? And this correct response will add how much to your score? Congratulations to you, player one. Good game, everyone, and thank you so much for playing.